Good morning, I am Adam Harris, and this is The Day Ahead.
Go ahead and click subscribe below to receive daily market analysis videos and important alerts. On the economic calendar for today, we have CPI data out of Europe at 10 a.m., then non-farm payrolls at 1:30 p.m., and finally US ISM manufacturing data at 3 p.m. In the currencies, non-farm payrolls expected to move the markets around quite a bit, which includes the major commodities as well. The global indices finished strong in January. Let's see if they can break those highs today. And the equities in focus continue to remain bullish from the east to the west. You can jump to any chapter by clicking on the time link in the description below. Let's have a look at the currencies first, and US dollar is just ping-ponging around. It bounced off the highs towards 94.50 on this end of this level of support, also 95, and it's still within this range. Please note that today we have non-farm payroll, so there's quite a bit of news, and my expectation is just to see a bit of swishing around. Ideally, I'd like to see the US dollar head lower, break below this 95. It just basically has not actually trended in quite a while, and so the result of that being with Euro USD as well as cable. To the other majors, predominantly those we've seen very little change in trend. So here we are, Euro USD is back within that range again. It's a bit frustrating because it really does impact the lack of opportunities there are. It just goes to the state of mind of everything at the moment just staying pretty much in the same place. Cable hasn't done much either, so triggered to the high, now sitting within the low. It's been trending very nicely. Ideally, I'd like to see non-farm payroll kick it back into continuation of that uptrend, but currencies, as you know, that trends can eventually run out, of course. Now, with the remainders, Euro Kiwi hasn't changed. It's continuing to head down. Pound yen hasn't kicked off. Kiwi yen, no change there. So all of these are pretty much either no change or continuing as expected. And two new ones on my watch list for today is Pound Aussie and Aussie Kiwi. Liking the look of these so far as potential swing trading opportunities. And so here just highlighting Pound Aussie as a potential swing low here off a level, a nice round number 1.8, and a nice little bullish candle there forming a swing low, nice little bounce off historical support and resistance. So that's a potential long opportunity, and there's a level of resistance quite a way up within that range. So that looks good, and Aussie Kiwi anticipating and looking for a breakout below this level of 1.0450 to head lower. Not there yet, so wouldn't enter yet, but I'm looking to enter below the low of these, the break of that level, and potentially looking to see price head a little bit lower. In the commodities on the move, having a look at gold first. Price has broken up through levels of resistance and just about producing a swing high, which means the price should then begin to retrace. So this will be on my watch list for next week, looking for price to retrace to a key level of support down here, either on this breakout level or just up above at 1310 or 1300. This area being very nice for a swing entry long. Look at that, most of those momentum indicators showing a bit of divergence, so there is a possibility that we will then get a weekly retracement back down towards 1250, which is what I was actually waiting for from when we broke out of this level here. Silver as well, then looking at a similar type of behavior, looking for that retracement for price to then come back to test this level. Because this one performed a little bit better, this area is still highlighted where I was looking for a weekly retracement back down towards 1480. However, pullbacks into the moving averages here looking good. Just noting some very clear divergence. We've got fresh highs in price coming off resistance, and we've definitely got a lower high here on the momentum indicators, implying a potential change in trend on the daily, which would then just, first of all, I would just take that as a retracement on the weekly. Palladium encountering already going into an uptrend, but already struggling to get much higher than 1350, finding its ceiling there, so likely to see a bit of a deeper pullback on that. And then crude oil, last on my list for today. Crude oil continuing to push higher, but it's got resistance sitting at 82.82, so looking and expecting to see some resistance there. But let's see how non-farm payroll switches things around. Looking at the global indices, keeping in mind again of non-farm payroll, but generally speaking, the momentum indicators are very nice and happy. We've broken through resistance levels. We can come back and retest those. My expectation would be, first of all, to see this climb a bit higher. We are in a new month as well, of course. First of the new month, I'd like us to see us break those monthly, the highs of those monthly candles. We've had pretty much bullish monthly candles across the board, which is unusual. We haven't had that in a while. Also, you can see here NASDAQ also looking as a retest of this would be a great swing entry for next week. I'm not expecting that just yet. I want to see how the markets react. So Monday morning is when I'll come back and have a look at this, but just showing generally nice and bullish across the board. UK 100 as well, this being the monthly chart. Monthly chart, really nice and bullish on that. I'd like to see a break of the high of that and see those swing lows kicking in. You can see here, if we then have a look at, say, Germany out of all of them actually being the one that looks slightly potentially bearish, this being a weekly. We've produced that weekly candle, and it's an inside candle as well within that sell zone. A break of the low of that would be a continuation to the downside, which would be very unusual given the fact that even as we head further east, we get bullish, very bullish signs out of Hong Kong, which is in a nice strong uptrend and a nice monthly bullish candle. So really, we're bullish across the board. I'd like to see February follow through by kicking on and breaking the high and continuing higher, which will then cause Germany to, it would be unusual for that to be the only one that didn't do that. And lastly for today, looking at those equities in focus, just drawing your attention to the monthly chart of Facebook. Look how massively significant this bullish candle is. It is the most bullish candle in the history of this chart, at least. And so that is a very significant sign, that being Facebook. Apple itself starting to catch up, now starting to retrace. Been waiting for this for a while. It was a bit of a lagger, and it is starting to retrace back up towards its level of resistance. So it's going to have to get through that, but the likelihood is that it will, especially as everything else looking nice and bullish. Netflix and Alphabet, all of those continuing on as planned, all of those really nice and bullish. As I head towards the ones that were traditionally downtrending on my list, this is BP, just showing that this one I have been waiting to see if it would manage to close above that level of support and resistance it actually has. I'm happy with that as a bullish candle. Now what I'm going to be looking for is a swing low on this one, and looking to see it head back up towards 600 as the next significant level there. So just going to create that as my next level of support and resistance. That makes the most sense to me, and that will show me some sign of value. So as I've said with the indices, looking at non-farm payroll at the moment, looking to see February break the highs. Some of these are absolutely incredibly bullish candles, much more so than October, November. So not anticipating another reversal, but not expecting smooth sailing either. So that being said, if it is trending, I will be there. I want you to enjoy your weekend, folks, and I will chat to you on Monday. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye. Just a reminder to hit the subscribe button. If you want to stay abreast of what's happening in the market, I'll be producing and bringing you the latest in the markets every morning in a freshly produced video.